Hello guys, it's Randall with BitRage. So I just got back in the US from New Zealand and just trying to catch up on some business, some things I wasn't able to do uh, from New Zealand. But I want to do a video for you guys here. It's going to be a little bit different than some of my recent videos, kind of more of similar to my earlier videos. But I want to show you this page here, and this is making money trading cryptocurrency and professional training. And some of you are getting really excited right now because you've been asking us for a course, and here is a course. It starts out at $300 a month, and for a year you can get a really good deal of $3,000. And if you want to join as a lifetime member, free access forever. After it's 25,000. Sounds like a really good idea, right? Some of you, as you were watching this the last minute, got really excited because some of you have been asking us for a course and you might have thought this is our course. And this is why I brought this up in this way, to make a very important point. Because of your faith in a YouTuber, you're willing to invest in what they might have to offer. And at some point we are looking at creating a course. But if we do create a course, we want it to have value. This course has zero value. So this is another video where we will be exposing a worthless course and a clown. So before we get started, I want to make some kind of disclaimers here. For those of you who may be wondering, why focus on this? Why be negative? Yada yada. It's not negative. It's very positive to expose people who are destroying the cryptocurrency market. The community, not the market, but the community. People who are using and abusing and luring people in for their own profit. And when I see people doing that, I'm going to expose them because I can't stand it. So that's why I'm doing the video. If you don't really like this kind of video, or you're really not the type of person who's going to be deceived or lured into this, or you don't think so, that's fine. You don't have to watch it. You can just watch our technical analysis videos if that's what you come for. That's fine. But we do have a number of subscribers. They really appreciate these type of videos because it helps them learn and understand how to identify people who really don't know what they're talking about. So feel free to continue watching the video, or feel free to watch one of our other videos. We're going to be looking at what this guy has to say. This is the Crypto Oracle, and let's just listen to what he has to tell us.
Ayo, it's the Crypto Oracle here, aka Will, and today I want to show you guys how I make $10,000 to $15,000 a week just trading Bitcoin a couple hours a day. You can even get a brand new Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon G63 AMG just like me, which I've purchased by trading for just a few months, okay? So stick around if you want to know how to do what I'm doing.
I'm not really overly impressed by someone who has this vehicle. I mean, it's a nice vehicle. It's worth probably around 150,000, I believe. But if you're making millions of dollars, I'm not really impressed with you having a $150,000 vehicle. It doesn't really impress me when you're supposedly making millions.
Let's go ahead and hop into the AMG for a little bit so I can warm up in this cool Dallas weather. So I can tell you guys a little bit about what I'm doing. So I'm a partner with a company called Blockchain Education. And as a service, we offer trading advice, a chat room, TA request, aka technical analysis, which will tell you which coins to buy, whether it's Bitcoin, Litecoin, or thousands of altcoins, just like people are trading every day and making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Does this sound like something you're interested in? Because obviously, whenever I first saw it, I was a little spooked because I saw all these people making all this money buying these expensive Mercedes-Benz cars and these Lamborghinis and Ferraris just by trading online this money that I don't really understand. But I'm going to explain.
He doesn't really understand, but he's going to explain it to you guys.
To you how Bitcoin works through this program, as well as how to trade it, how to buy it, and eventually how to make mad profits within only a couple weeks or even a month max. The learning curve.
A couple things quickly here. He's going to explain to you how Bitcoin works. You don't need that. You can Google to your heart's content and figure out everything about how it works. Go on Quora. There's a bunch of experts on there that can really explain to you how Bitcoin works, why it's important, really, really well. Courses like Crypto Oracles, Ryan Hildreth's, coupled with the now disappeared Crypto Nick, they put that in their course because they don't have anything else to offer you. So they have to tell you where Bitcoin came from and how it works and all that information, which is really easy to find for free. Another thing he mentions is that it's really easy.
curve is not very steep for trading.
There's not a current learning curve.
Bitcoin. I can tell you, I've introduced some of my friends, some of my coworkers, even my family, and they're already making thousands to tens of thousands of dollars with very, very small investments. I know
This kind of hype video, it's already a minute 30. It's only a minute 31 in, and we're already getting a very potent hype. So he lured you in with the Ty Lopez car. That's a very slick marketing move. And now he's telling you that his family and his friends he's helped to make millionaires. It's very easy. There's no learning curve. It just, even a caveman could do it.
I know a guy personally that's invested only $400 into a few altcoins, and right now he's sitting on $260,000. That is ridiculous.
It's insanely ridiculous. Not because I believe a word you say, but because you just told a story that could be applicable to any situation. Let me explain. So I knew a guy who invested $400 in Bitcoin and now he's a millionaire. That doesn't tell you anything. When did he invest it? Has he been trading consistently? Has he been trading back and forth? Did he invest early on when it first started? That's worthless information. This guy's a clown. And really what he's trying to do is lure you in by making you greedy. Because this guy's very greedy. He wants to make you greedy. And if he can get you to be greedy, then the decision making part of your brain, the analytical part of your brain, is going to drop, and it's going to seduce you into making a decision to buy his course, which is essentially a worthless course.
Now, I'd love to say that I could do that every day of the week, but I'm making more like, 100% profit a week, which...
So he's telling you that he makes 100% profit a week. Now, this is kind of interesting to me because if you skip ahead in the video, he tells you that you're making 12,000% in a week.
And you probably made 12,000% on the rest. This is just ridiculous, all right?
So you're going to make 12,000% and he makes 100% in a week. Does that sound a little fishy to you? It sounds a little fishy to me.
Program that I'm working with, show you guys an intro of how to buy Bitcoin, how to start trading and such, and everything that's included in this program. I'm telling you guys, it's way easier than you'd think. You see all these get-rich-quick artists and these con artists, they try to sell you on things like affiliate marketing, multi-level marketing, and even just door-to-door sale with things like pyramid schemes. Now, you don't want to get into a pyramid scheme, all right? You want to get into Bitcoin and altcoins and cryptocurrencies while they're hot, and they're hot right now, I will tell you guys.
This is a classic technique, a marketing technique that is used to build trust and then sell you. So let me explain to you quickly how it works. So he tells you you do not want to get into a pyramid scheme, a Ponzi scheme, because that's dangerous. Something that most of you are going to agree with, though most of you watching would agree with, because we just went through BitConnect, and by now most people should understand that Ponzi schemes are very dangerous. So most people are going to agree with this and say, okay, he's telling me the truth. So you've laid a ground support for people to trust you, and then you immediately hook them to sell them on what they need to buy. And this is very effective ploy. It's a ploy used to suck people into buying a product.
Cryptocurrencies while they're hot, and they're hot right now.
When you hear somebody say cryptocurrencies are hot and they're hot right now, interestingly enough, he actually did this video just before the crash. So that's kind of important. He didn't know the crash was coming. He didn't know how big it was going to be. He knew nothing because he's not a technical analysis expert. He doesn't know how to trade cryptocurrency. We're going to find out very soon that he's actually a pump and dump shill.
More valuable. I can't explain it. I can't explain. You will be trading day in and day out. This will become your obsession.
So there are actually two things that I agree with this guy on. First of all, his comment that it is ridiculous. The second one is that he can't explain anything.
That we saw, however, obviously this was this candlestick was a little wonky. It was I forgot the exact term for that type of candlestick, but basically a green candlestick with a long bottom whisker and a short top whisker, which led...
I have no clue what this guy is talking about. First of all, this is something that anybody who actually trades cryptocurrency and understands Japanese candlesticks would know. I mean, it just, you make a total utter fool of yourself. Man, what in the world is that? man, that candlestick, it's got whiskers. It's that candlestick with whiskers. Well, I don't know, guys. I've never seen a candlestick with whiskers. I've heard people call it tails, wicks, even shadows, but there's no candlesticks with whiskers. Not exactly sure what you're talking about, but I think you're smoking something. To educate this guy a little bit, I think what he's actually referring to is a hammer candlestick. That's kind of what it sounds like, but again, I'm not really sure because it's this kind of wacky, kind of funky candlestick with a whisker. It's got a little bit of kind of a short whisker on one end and a longer whisker on the other end. Sounds like a funky cat.
Here I have up a chart of the Bitcoin price. You're going to see charts like these a lot. You can see here's a chart of a coin called Zcoin, and you got Bitcoin, you got Litecoin, you got Ethereum. You've probably heard of a few of them, but I trade all of them. I trade every one that's going to make me money. And what we offer in our program is a thing called calls. Now, not everybody has the time and the knowledge or even the patience to go through.
He just told you that trading cryptocurrency is extremely easy. There is no learning curve, literally no learning curve. Very easy. Within a month you can learn it. Now he's telling you that, oh, you know, you don't have the time and whatever. Pfft, give me a break. How many people wouldn't find the time when it's so easy? A caveman can do it. No learning curve. You know, your goldfish can do it. I mean, this guy's selling you a load of crap. And not only is he selling you a load of crap, but he doesn't even know how big of a load it is. This guy is a classic clown.
Through every chart and see which coins that you should buy because they're going to go up soon. You should buy.
That should let a huge red flag off. They're going to go up soon. Can anybody say pump and dump?
Because they're going to increase in value overall. Nobody has time for that. But we have people full-time that are doing technical analysis on these coins, on these charts, and telling you when to buy them, what price to sell them, and such. So I'm going to show you this really cool spreadsheet that I have that explains, or it shows, the charts and the calls that we've made in the past month. And it'll show you how much money people have made from following these charts. So let's look at it right here. Look at this. This is a complete spreadsheet that was put together by one of our assistants. It was not manipulated at all by...
Because he's so adamant that it's not manipulated at all, I'm quite confident it was. And after actually I've went through most of these calls and the dates and I've looked at them, and I'm quite confident it was very much manipulated. And the fact that they actually removed the timestamps from most of the chart, they had it on the first part but not the rest, indicates most likely it was very much manipulated. So we're going to go through this and kind of look at it, but I want you to really focus on an important point here, and that is that this is a pump and dump chart, or a pump and dump spreadsheet. That's essentially all it is.
So you got $100 right here, and you're making 165%. I will tell you that is a ridiculous cost. So you're making 165% gains. That means that you are making, let me use the keypad, it's a little easier, 2.65, and we are at $265. Off of one trade, you have over doubled your money. That is ridiculous. But trades not like these don't happen all the time. Sometimes you've got trades like this core trade, so let's say you take...
Alright, I'm not interested in really listening to him babble on and basically lie through his teeth about what you can make. So let's actually dig into these and look at them and see what the truth is here. Let's look at power. Alright, so some point here on the 16th the call was made, and some point on the 20th the call is made to sell. So yeah, definitely a profit here, and yeah, you could definitely have made a nice profit. But I want you to notice an important point. This is over the period of about 4 days. And that's not the way he insinuates in his video. He insinuates it's all in 1 day. But I also want to show you, in his video, there's another call on the 21st for power. And that call would have been made somewhere in here, and the sell would be somewhere in here. Is there room to make a profit? Very small. If you'd made a quick buy order and a quick sell order, you might have made a profit. Most likely you would have lost. And it drops off from this point until the 31st. So about 10 days your money would have been stuck in that coin. And that's something important this guy doesn't talk about because he's trying to deceive and lure you in. is that you can make bad calls like this one and get your money stuck for a while. So that's important to understand. So let's look at core. That's another one he mentioned. Sometime on the 16th, the call was made somewhere in this area. Supposedly, again, I'm not sure I exactly trust his chart. And let's see, the 22nd, the call was made to sell. So somewhere in this area, interestingly, before this pump, the call was made to sell. So yeah, you could definitely have made a profit there if you'd bought in. But again, you would have had to buy in on the 16th. Let's assume that the call is made and they're telling people to buy on the 16th all the way up until the 18th, which is what pump and dumps often do. And sometimes they'll remove timestamps so that people don't know when the call was originally made, thinking that it is recent. So people buy all the way up until the time when it's actually the sell point.
Percent on this call, and now you're at 349. This is in one day. You go from $100 to $350. Okay, let's see how.
So again, he's lying. It's not one day. For power, it's 4 days. For core, which he mentioned, it's 6 days. It's not one day. And I don't know if he got kicked by a kangaroo or what happened, but he honestly is either totally lying through his teeth or he is really extremely bad at math. Either way, I wouldn't really listen to anything he has to say.
$162. Finally, you cap off the week on the 21st and you get in on this great substratum call. You got your 762, you multiply that times.
Let's look at the substratum call. So you would have bought in this area and the call supposedly to sell was in this area. Yeah, definitely you would have made a profit if that's accurate, if that's actually how it was called. You're waiting a few days, which is fine. It's about 4 days, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But the issue here is that, again, this is a pump and dump. It's not based on technical analysis. It's based on a pump and dump. All right, so this one is you're buying in somewhere in this area and you're selling off somewhere in this area. So there's room for profit, but you'd have to get in and out fairly quickly within that 24-hour period. And if you don't, it would be about 8 days late, 6 days later, before you'd see it actually come back to that point. And then here's the next pump. So we'd actually expect, based on this, that somewhere around 12.1 or 12.2 we should see on his chart another call for NXT. And let me see here. Yeah, 12.2 NXT, 12.1 NXT. All right. So 12.1, there's a call made. 12.1, there's a call to sell, which is kind of interesting. I think that's right. Let me check that. Yeah. Not very much profit there. 12.2, there's a call made, so if you got on here, that's good. And you could sell out, and then on the 3rd, there's a call. Here's another clear pump and dump chart. The call is on the 2nd, and the call to sell is on the 3rd. Most likely, the call actually went out on this large green candle. So you would have been buying in somewhere in the middle or at the top. And the sell is when it's already starting to head back down. So most likely you'd be selling somewhere in this area. If you're lucky, if you got on the tail end of it, you might be selling here. You got to understand, there's about a 24-hour window here at best. Usually it's more like 12, sometimes 6 hours or less to get in and out of a pump and dump to make a good profit. You're actually lucky a lot of times in a pump and dump group if you can get in and out and make a profit at all. Because this area here is the elite. They buy in, then they tell the rest of the group. So the rest of the group is buying in on these big candles and on the initial drop-offs. So a lot of the people are actually selling in the bearish candles. They panic and they're selling in the bearish candles because usually you see these spikes. Those spikes, the elite are selling off. So they're telling people to buy in still, but they're still selling off. So it's a very bad. The people who make money in pump and dumps are the people who run them for the most part. Here's a good example of what I'm talking about. So EMC20 is one on his list. And you're buying either on this candle or this candle. Either way, it's close to the peak. So you would have got in even on this candle as much as most likely. The sell is coming on the 7th when they tell you to sell, which would be this candle. And by the time you get there, most likely your sell order is going to get passed. It drops quite a bit low, and it's headed down, all the way back down to the point below where you sold. So interestingly enough, that is a pretty solid support line, but you would have probably lost money. There's another buy call made for EMC20 on the 7th. So someplace in here, they had a call to buy and then sell in this area. Now, do you see a large opportunity or a good opportunity at all to buy and sell here? Absolutely not. Total nonsense. And Omni, this is another example. So the call was on the 7th, I believe on the 7th. Let me double check that. Yeah, the 7th, and then the sell was on the 8th. So this candle here, one of these candles, and the sell is on the 8th, which is down here. Do you see any profit there? Now what do they say? They say 16% profit. Buy on the 7th, sell on the 8th. How is there profit? The only way there's profit is right here. If you bought somewhere here and sold on this wick, or whisker as Crypto Oracle likes to call it. So that's nonsense. They're selling you a bill of goods, and it is a rotten bill of goods. Here's another example. So Mona, the call was made on the 6th. The first candle that is on the 6th is the last bullish candle. So by the time you actually sell, you're most likely on this bearish candle, and you're not going to make a profit. It's a sell from that point down. You're not going to be making a profit. So 12.6, Mona, where is Mona here? 12.6 on the 7th, they say 35% profit, more like a loss there. So what happens is, I think when they first started out, you had better opportunities, and they're getting greedier. So they're getting greedier, and they're telling people to continue to buy so they can sell. And that's generally how pump and dumps work. The top people get more and more greedy to the point where they basically kill the group by trying to suck as much money out as possible. So this call is interesting because there's a call on the 1st somewhere in here, and then the sell is on the 1st. So it's a nice bullish candle, but they're telling you to sell. On the 2nd, there's another call and a sell. On the 3rd, let me double check to make sure I'm accurate on that. Yes, on the 3rd, there is another call. So the first candle on the 3rd is here. It's another call to sell, which is somewhere in this area. And again, yeah, you're going to make a loss sometimes on any calls, even legitimate calls. But the problem is they're calling it a profit. They're giving you the most ideal situation if you had bought on the very exact pinnacle. And most likely on the 3rd, you would have made a loss. It might not have been a huge loss, but you would have made a loss. And they're not telling you that. And that makes me upset. I just really hate that kind of business.
Only one of them was negative, and it was ADA, and it was a negative 2%. So you lost 2%.
They deceive you into believing that there's only one that was negative, when we've just gone over this, and actually there's quite a few that are showing positive that actually most likely you would have lost money on. So they're being very deceptive.
% on one trade, and you probably made 12,000% on the rest. This is just ridiculous. All right. So
it's ridiculous because he doesn't know how to do math. It's ridiculous because he doesn't know cryptocurrency. It's ridiculous because it's a pump and dump scam. I'm sure there's more ridiculous things we could go into.
I'm going to show you the program a little bit. Now that you've seen how successful these calls are, let's say you want to learn about blockchain. You want to learn about Bitcoin more than just following trades. Well, you can definitely do that. So
he's going to spend some time going through what else they have to offer, which basically is a box of junk. There's not a lot here. A 4-year-old could have designed this site, and a 5-year-old could have made the videos for it, and a 6-year-old could have done the ICO reviews. Just not a lot to offer you. A lot of mumbo jumbo. It kind of actually intrigues me a little bit. I think this is actually taken from someone else. It looks like it's stolen. This kind of actually made me laugh.
This for Bitcoin, as you can see here, you've got a running ticker for the average Bitcoin price. You got
because no other site in the world has a running ticker for the Bitcoin price. I can't think of one That right there is worth $300 a month.
Bitcoin news all aggregated. You've got a little Bitcoin chart here from TradingView because we have a special partnership with TradingView, so you can have coin analysis.
He does a little squinty eyes thing when he's lying, and I'm not sure why he cut part of it, but he left some of it so we knew he was partially lying. But they don't have a special partnership with TradingView. Anybody can have that chart. This is TradingView API. It is free. So he's a liar. And you'll notice throughout his videos, he does that where he cuts videos quite a bit. What's interesting to me is he cuts a lot of times when he's lying, and I think he realizes he's lying, or realizes it sounds really dumb when he's editing. What intrigues me is he leaves part of it, so you know he's lying, but you don't know the whole, what he was intending to fully say.
Loading up. So soon, within the next week or so, or next couple months, you'll be able to see coin analysis for dozens of ICOs. You want to get into coins early. That initial.
Again, there's not a lot here. It's a lot of mumbo jumbo. There is a ton of sites now that do ICO reviews completely free. Almost all of them are better than this. So let's go over it. So the calls are pump and dump calls, and most likely you're gonna lose because you're gonna get in on the raw end of the deal. The chat room is probably mostly bogus with a bunch of people like Crypto Oracle that don't really know anything. Coin analysis is essentially free trading view chart that you can get anywhere. Some aggregated news, which is probably mostly worthless, and some nonsense about where Bitcoin came from, which anybody can find anywhere on the web. The training, let's get into the training.
Trade cryptocurrency, but what is cryptocurrency? How did it originate? How to do chart work? How to do TA? How to do
something him and Ryan Hildreth and the now disappeared Crypto Nick have done with their courses is fill it with a bunch of nonsense, fill it with a bunch of stuff about how Bitcoin came to be and what Bitcoin is and how to get Bitcoin, and a lot of stuff that you can find easily for free on the web. You don't need some Crypto Oracle clown to tell you this stuff, but they don't really know how to trade cryptocurrency. So what do you build a course off from? If you don't know what a candlestick is, if you've forgotten, oh shoot, what is that candlestick that has cat whiskers, then you have to come up with a bunch of nonsense to put in your course, and that's what this course is. A bunch of nonsense. You'll notice under lone wolf teamwork and herd mentality, traders who wear $20,000 suits. Why in the world would I pay for a cryptocurrency day trading course to learn about that? I don't care what kind of suit traders wear. That is just ridiculous.
Analysis, how to trade with margin, how to trade by lending. Maybe you want to pull out a mortgage on your house because you're making so much money. I don't know.
I don't know what that means, because I'm not sure if you're making so much money why you would pull out a mortgage on your house. It doesn't make sense. You're making 12,000%, so there'd be no reason to pull out a mortgage on your house. I think you'd be selling your house and buying a nice big house. Okay guys, so this is kind of long here and I kind of want to cut this off. My point in doing this video, and there's a lot more I could share, I've really disliked this guy a lot. I've watched his videos throughout the past few months, and I've really disliked him for several reasons. He's a chronic liar. You can tell watching his videos, he lies a lot. He makes up a lot of stuff, and that's why he cuts a lot of his videos, because he realizes he kind of goes overboard. But the reason I did this video is because he is involved in a pump and dump group that's being marketed as a Bitcoin trading course, a Bitcoin trading course, a Bitcoin calls group, which is actually just a fancy way of saying a pump and dump group. There's nothing of value in this course, and you're actually paying to be a part of making him money. So you're paying to be a part of a pump to make him money. And you might be able to make some money on the calls. I'm sure you'll make money on some calls, but it's very likely you're going to lose a lot of money, because it sucks people in and people want to wait to the very top, and they don't tell you the very top. They actually tell you too late. So you're actually selling on a decline, not at the top. You're actually selling on the fall. on the dump because they want to make the money. And it's important to understand that in a pump and dump, that's how it works. So if this guy really knew how to do technical analysis and he really knew how to make money, that's what the course would be about. But the course is not. It's about how traders wear $20,000 suits and a whole bunch of other stuff, land title registration, healthcare sector, blockchain applications. Most people who want to trade don't care about that stuff, right? Don't really care about that stuff. So this guy has about 60,000 subscribers. You'll notice a lot of his videos he focuses on how he made $1 million, and he has his $150,000 Mercedes wagon, which again really seriously does impress me. He has this bogus story about being robbed at gunpoint, which based on the views of his videos, nobody really cares. And I think people are really getting sick of his bogus nonsense, because when you have 60,000 subscribers and you get 7,000 views on a video about supposedly being robbed, I think you've lost your subscribers. But he focuses on a lot of this, trying to build people up into believing he is a millionaire, which he might be, but to suck people into buy his course. And again, this guy really doesn't know much about cryptocurrency. He really can't share a lot with you. If you've watched his Twitter, and if you've been following him for any length of time, you will have noticed that he's missed almost every single call for Bitcoin. He's made tons of calls about it being a bull trend just before it dropped again. He focuses a lot on head and shoulders patterns, which we've mentioned in the past. You really need to stop focusing on patterns, but you need to focus on support and resistance. This guy doesn't really understand that very well. He mentions it a few times, but a lot of times his support and resistance points are off. And the reason is he's made his money through this pump and dump. So he doesn't really need to know technical analysis. That's not a prerequisite. So I'd encourage you to be careful. If you like this guy, I apologize for having to expose him, but the truth is the truth. And I think it's very clear from looking at his own Excel spreadsheet that the very biggest part of what they have to offer is a pump and dump group. So if that's something you're interested in, this looks like a very good opportunity for you. For most of you who are listening, I think you're going to want to avoid this, and you're going to want to focus on better opportunities. So I'm going to leave you with that. I hope you have appreciated the video. If you have, please go ahead and give it a nice like, and make sure you are subscribed, as we will be doing more videos here in the future. We will also be continuing our Bitcoin analysis, so keep your eyes open for those videos coming soon. Thanks so much, guys. Please comment below and tell us what you thought of the video and suggestions for new videos. We are definitely open to hearing those. Shoot us a message if you have a question or something that we can help you with, or something you noticed that maybe we have missed. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and take care.